Okay, on your
3,
side of the
4
village.
o'clock. Oh, it was a pursuit.
I thought I had it.
It's painted orange now.
The water department, he was,
They didn't get it.
on,
Oh, good.
you know, on the
Good.
water board.
That always makes me happy when they get them.
And he had been, on the Finn students for 30 years.
I like your windows in the
I
background.
thought he lived in the village, but he
Those
does.
windows look
He's
nice.
there, so.
Does
It'll
it?
look like one window when I get in.
Why?
It'll look like one window.
Uh-huh.
But they started working on it today.
Good. Well, it looks good. I like that. That whole space back there. Looks good.
Hello, Ron.
Morning.
Afternoon. I don't wanna go through the morning.
Whatever day it is.
But then again, maybe I could be more productive if I could figure out where I shouldn't have fooled around with.
Doggone. No grandbaby kisses.
You seen this? Okay, I sent that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's not bad. That's not that far.
Oh, I didn't see.
The week before, I was in, up by Gary.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah,
After a meeting.
it went fine. Do you have? Okay. Nashville's a lot shorter drive than Gary. Nashville's nice. Are you in a conference or something? Range or what? Gotta start doing that more. That's good.
I've had plenty to do in the meantime, I'm sure you have too, so. Yeah.
Hey Kevin, Todd's not,
We should not get back to
Okay.
Todd thinks it's not.
Not for a while.
Okay.
Been dry. There's still some wet spots around my place yet. Really? It's raining one week,
Was that right? About the van place, the little picture on.
Yes? I just, okay, so.
I seen that somewhere.
This is a weird.
So I'm very excited to do all the papers.
So you're gonna, you all the kids, so you know, you were exactly.
I've seen that.
I know, and the air was coming through, so. Yep. Yeah, I know, it was funny.
They sent me, we can throw out some like emergency run to the Ohio plant, so I get to work. I don't start till 2, I always get there early just to get to school. Richard, the second associate, probably goes, you wanna run to Ohio? And I said, well, it's simply not running. I said, that's 8 hour drive. He goes, I know, he said, they got this shit, they're behind on parts, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. I said, what you're doing, so they grabbing over my bag, you know, so I can at least make a fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
8 hours up, and every hour up, and 8 hours back, which I decided I would do.
Sprayer the other day, I'll fall out there, and I'll nail in the barn, pull it out.
Find out, you know, what the problem is. Because first step in turning these machines is called control. It turns the
Well, I
computer.
got it by UTV, I looked at
He's only getting half of his control. Simple. 2 hours. He told me he checked and didn't check. I drove.
Did you let him know how that runs? Did you let him know? You did check this and.
I told my meter and I was like, you checked this? Well, I don't see how. So I said, I'm not saying this is the problem. I drove 7 hours and 40 minutes for 3 minutes at work.
What a mess.
I could drive that all night.
That,
I have 5:30. If we could all do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
I'd like to call the regular town council meeting with roll call. Jason Little.
Here.
Patricia Ball.
Here.
Kevin Burke.
Here.
Mike Johannes.
Here.
Brian Warren.
For the first thing on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from July 8th, which was our regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 8th meeting.
Second.
Have a first and second from Jason and Trish. If there's no other comments about it, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, it passes 5-0. Next, we have the approval of the special meeting that we held on July 22nd, 2024. I think that was after due with our budget.
Yes, it was the informational from meeting with the budget for the department heads.
Make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes on 7/22/24.
Second.
Have a first and second from Jason and Mike. If there's no other discussion on that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, it passes 5-0. Next thing we have on the agenda is the comments from the floor. Anybody have anything, or? Okay, if not, we're gonna move on. Comments from me, just want to remind everybody that we do have a meeting this coming Thursday at 5 to look over the budget again for the final time before we submit it for approval. Anybody else have any comments that they want to mention, talk about?
The Tetra Truck event is coming up this Sunday?
Saturday.
10 to 1. And that's at Yellow Park.
Okay, hope the weather is great for everybody. So,
That's right.
okay, if nothing else, we're going to move on to the fire department.
You've got my monthly report for the month of July. We had a busy month. We had 33 total runs, 26 first responder, and we had a cut gas line from the village. We took a tanker to New Boston for a structure fire, and we had 5 fire alarms from the same report. So,
I was busy.
for a total of 33 runs for the month. We had all our trucks serviced. They're all good, no, just burned out light bulbs, stuff like that. So everything's been serviced, all the trucks. Good shape there. I did get pricing on all the trucks from all the different dealers, so how do we want to proceed with that?
The trucks for,
Pickup truck.
I'll do a bid.
you got prices on them?
Forget about the bid on that with government pricing?
Yeah, if we're gonna buy one, we'll have to spit it out for bid, right?
Well, if you got government pricing, is it the state? We're okay with that.
Oh.
The state negotiated for us.
James has got them too, I gave him.
Yeah, it's all government.
It's all police, government,
Okay,
so.
have you looked over the ones that you saw, or?
I really like the one at Lost, it's on the lot. I mean, it's got everything except the bed liner. If we go 2025, it's gonna be a 6 to 8 week wait and about $1,000 price increase. Right now, Meyer with ARE has a lot of rebates on toppers and accessories, the pull-out and all that. That's all rebates till the end of September. So I want to separate the truck from that.
Okay. What type of truck are you looking at, brand again?
Chevrolet or the GMC. I did get Ford pricing too, through Sternberg. So I got Sternberg, Uvalor, Lakers, and Law, and John Jones. They're a little further, that's Salem. I'll pass these out, I got a couple copies. You can see them.
You haven't got a quote from Iron to outfit it yet?
Yeah, I've got one. From mine. But you can see they're pretty close.
So you bars didn't have the Chevrolet on their lot, the 24
They can get
model?
it, though. They can get it, but we just gotta add, and theirs are all the incentives through the rebates.
What do we gotta add, you said, the U-Board?
Steps and bedliner.
We gotta add the steps and the bed liner.
How quick?
I just gotta call him how fast he can get it.
We put this in the budget for 2025, correct?
Do what?
Isn't this in your budget for
I
2025?
know you were we gonna do an additional for that?
We talked about doing an additional
So
for it.
do you guys-
I did not bring the Meyer quote.
You know about what that was?
About 5,000. The top, but he didn't quote me those rebates. Then the light, it will be another 8 or 9. I got the quote for the light. Truck, siren, and lighting,
8 or 9 what?
1,000.
Thousand.
That's
Max,
the later.
is this a spray-in bed liner, or is this?
That's the Linux, yeah.
So basically, we're adding 14,000 to these prices. Because you said 5,000 for Meyer and 8 to 9,000.
9,172 to light, sirens, lights.
Looking at 15.
Yeah.
And the one at Law and the one at Eagle Ours, that's the same truck minus,
Chevy.
Steps and liner.
All you gotta do is add the liner to that one.
that liner and those steps aren't $3,200.
You go aftermarket steps.
You can go GM steps for that.
Huh?
You can go GM steps for that.
Mm-hmm.
Linex is Linex, no matter if you get it, you know, as long as it's a Linex dealer. How quick could you bars have it?
You can call him. I got a guy on the fire department works for GM, he's gonna get a discount on the steps, he said. So he'll get the steps cheaper, but he gets his employee discount.
James, what trucks are you looking at?
I have the exact same sheet.
He got everything, we've done the same work.
Yeah, but, since we're kind of in an emergency situation with needing a vehicle, unfortunately, Sternberg's has one that another county, police agency was gonna take and did not take it. And he said that it's sitting on the lot, he pulled it in the garage, it's parked in the garage just for us. He said he'd sell it for $43,605, and he said I can bring it to you tomorrow and drop it off. He said it's ready to go. It's a police rated vehicle. I'll just have to have lights and everything put on it. So I would ask for an additional $9,500 for the lights, but I believe, I was just talking to Jan, I believe I can get it cheaper than that with someone else. And there's a couple things that I can salvage from
The
Dodge
present
Charger
vehicle.
as well, which is sitting in our garage. And when we get to my part, we'll discuss what we need to do with that. But I can get this one, $43,605. He said I can deliver it tomorrow.
With it?
And I had, what's that?
Go ahead.
It's 2024 Dodge. Well, he corrected me 4 times. It's not a Dodge, it's a Ram. He corrected us. Well, I thought they were Dodges. He said, they're not. He said they're
That's
Rams.
okay, always-
It's a 5.7 Hemi.
They
Um,
changed.
It's got the club cab, it's got the, rhino lining and all that in it. I mean, it's set up, ready to go. It just needs the lights put on it. right now I have 2 full-time guys sharing a vehicle. So I took mine, I won't let any of the other guys, they use the MR because they've been using it for undercover details. We had some storage units brought in, but I went and got mine marked today, ready to hand off to the next guy.
I was making sure I wasn't crazy. I saw it one, I was like, man,
Is that James or who? Yeah, so I went and got it marked today, so I can hand that down to, most likely to be rookie. The thing about my vehicles is I don't put a whole lot of miles on them, cause I live right here, so it doesn't take me long to get to work. It's only got 42,000 miles on it, and we got it brand new in January of 2020. So, it's still a good vehicle, it'd be a good, like a new vehicle for the next guy. So.
So at the budget hearing, we discussed paying out of rainy day. We budgeted 65,000 last year for able to spend for emergency purposes for rainy day. We talked about buying him the first one out of rainy day this year, and then budgeting in his budget for the second
The
one.
other, And were we
Okay,
gonna,
so where would we get money from?
where was
That
Max's? Was
was
We'll
that,
next
have to
year.
look at that, cause we were putting that in his 2025 budget. So if we're gonna do something different, then we're gonna have to look and see where we can pull that money from, and we'll have to do an additional appropriation for that.
so we were doing the upstairs this year though, correct?
And I will have bids probably for this.
okay, what about the interest?
Trying that.
About the Indiana trust and the fire truck?
Yeah, that's all going, the interest that's made from Indiana Trust, the interest that's made from the Cume Cap Fire will go back into the Cume Cap Fire
Right.
budget, or go back into that fund. It's not money that's appropriated. So, I mean, we have appropriated money in Cume Cap Fire that's set aside for the fire truck. I mean, we could move that back and buy this other truck with it, and then appropriate additional money for the fire truck. But at the budget hearing, we were discussing that this would be just an additional vehicle for them to drive to training and stuff,
Exactly.
and it wasn't an emergency, we put it into their budget for next year. So if you guys wanna change that, I just need to know, cause I need to pull that back out of their budget, cause we're not gonna need it in the budget. And then we'll have to look at doing an additional appropriation from somewhere else. So, I guess we can make a decision at the Thursday budget hearing if you guys wanna decide tonight, or you wanna think about it, or.
So there's no way any of the money that has been allocated for the fire truck would be touched? You're talking about the interest,
Well, the interest won't be enough. to
No, I
cover-
know.
Yeah.
but it would help. But like the fire truck money, I say we don't touch that with at all.
So.
But
I
the
mean, then we would
interest-
have to do an additional appropriation.
Right.
Or if we purchase it this year.
Right.
We have to do an additional appropriation from one of the funds to
And what's a logical place to take that from?
Fire would be. But I don't know, I'd have to look and to see, I mean, I don't know whether we would need to do an additional appropriation, because we haven't spent the money that we've already
Right.
appropriated for that, for this year. You know, we
Right.
appropriated 245,000, that's all in Indiana Trust, but none of that has been spent, so I don't really know how you're gonna do an additional appropriation for money in an account that we haven't even spent what we already appropriated from. So what you would have to do is you would have to move that money back and buy it from the money that we've already appropriated. And then if we needed to have additional funds this year for the fire truck, we would have to then do an
Until next
adult
year.
appropriation.
Yeah,
We'll need
well,
it.
until
All
next,
you have to pay this year is the chassis,
Which is a hundred.
130-some thousand.
Okay.
so with that, we could do the upstairs and the truck? With that money that we've appropriated already?
We would have to look and see what all the costs are, because, I mean, we appropriated 245.
Right,
So we would have to look and see what the cost for the building is gonna be, what the cost for this truck is gonna be, and the chassis. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna, we may have to do an additional appropriation if we do all of these projects.
right,
With what we, this year.
yeah.
Why don't we table it till Thursday night? Because
Thursday?
it's not gonna make that big a difference.
Yeah,
We-
it's a couple days, I mean, that way you can.
And James, we'll talk yours when you come up.
That's my thoughts.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody else agrees.
Yeah, then we can talk,
So we
we
can look
can
at
talk
the
money.
numbers.
Okay.
Okay,
Like I said, I plan on going out for bid on the upstairs to get that out and hopefully get it back by September. Hopefully, if everything goes right. So,
okay,
Okay,
we will have to add 2 windows to the sides because the bedrooms must have
oh,
windows
yeah,
to get
yes,
out.
mhm,
So we'll have to add a window. I wasn't in there originally. I didn't know. I had Todd Hayes come.
Mhm.
He looked it all over, make some recommendations.
okay,
once you
That's all I
get,
have.
once you get some good numbers, the Jane before Thursday, so we have something to look at Thursday night.
see if
For
you can
the
get your,
upstairs,
No,
see if you can
for
get
the
your
truck,
steps
for the
and your
truck.
liner and the
I'll-
add-on
I'll get
package,
in touch with you or tomorrow.
okay. Thank you,
I'll let you know that, I'll bring that chassis bill to you.
okay, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We got our reports. Nothing groundbreaking. We're just getting ready for the fall. Soccer is upon us, and football won't be far behind it. Just the normal projects as far as that's concerned. Membership community center surprisingly have been up this time of year. Don't know what all to attribute it to, but it's a positive sign. I think we're starting to get the word out a little bit. The Morning Energizers group was able to use our facility for their summer program. They had to find another accommodation due to the campground being used for church camps and things. But I think that might have actually helped give us a little boost in memberships. So at any rate, it's good to see the facility being used more. The only items that I had were some things that I previously discussed. So I did meet to get some design estimates for the park projects, as we talked about at the budget hearing. So met with Midwestern and with REA, which is basically a company that does a lot of renderings and conceptual work. And they felt like it would be good to do a design of the whole park. I think it will be, it's not gonna be cheap, but it's gonna make it a much more marketable project, not only to the community, but to these granting organizations. I mean, even this year, we missed out on a golden opportunity with Ready 2.0. In the Lilly Endowment, there was a substantial amount of money that was available there, that if we had had a good, robust plan that was marketable, we probably could have gotten access to a lot of money. So REA, for their design services, they had estimated about $30,000, but what this entails is the whole conceptual design of that 35 acres of the park. That's the trail, the improvements that we would make, with the concession building potentially, field improvements, lighting, parking, the whole 9 yards. Basically, we lay out a roadmap for the future and something that we could sell in the community. And then basically for the design portion of the engineering, in order to count it as match for the DNR grant, we would need to actually procure engineering services. We couldn't just pick an engineering service. But by following the protocols, we can use any money for the engineering towards match for the grant, for the playground. So my recommendation, we can talk more about this at the budget meeting on Thursday, would be to go ahead and plan on doing the renderings through REA, and then we can work through procurement to get engineering for the project, and then be able to count that as a match as part of our application for next year. So, in discussions with Midwestern, I mean, typically 10% is kind of what they anticipate. And Clint said that they could probably work with us on that if they were, and it did end up being selected. Just a little company, but that's something for another day. Just want to bring that to your attention. The other thing that I had for you, we had discussed it a little bit. This is probably more for Kevin. I would like to dissolve the commission fund that you guys set up when the park board was established for rentals. Basically, I would give it, I think, 10% for any new rentals. Honestly, it's just another thing for Jane and me to keep track of. I appreciate the gesture, but it's not that important. So I okay with that?
It's fine.
And then, one other thing, and this is probably another Kevin, question. We had discussed the town procurement on bid limit. I'm not necessarily interested in raising the limit, but I would like to see us transition more towards getting like 3 quotes instead of having to go through a full bid process, seal bids. It would just streamline things and make it so much easier for the department heads, and the state limit is $50,000. If that's something you all are interested in, I can work with the department heads and Kevin, and we can hopefully get something drafted.
I don't see a problem with that.
I don't see any problem with that at all. I mean, if that's the state's stance, why would we?
Yeah, the state doesn't require a bid process until a project is 50,000 or above,
Mhm.
so.
Should we make a vote on
We
it?
don't get just a handful of bids anyway.
Okay.
If we get any bids.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
We know we don't get any, or we get
No.
very few bids anyway, if you get
Right,
any.
yeah,
Do we need a motion for you to start on
No.
that, or just?
tell him, boss.
So let's go ahead and have you draft up something to raise that up to
So they'll
50.
just change, like redo the ordinance, so you'll have a first and
From
second
5
reading
to
of the
50.
ordinance.
Well, I mean, that's up to you guys. I'm not necessarily interested in seeing the limit raised. It's more, can we streamline it and get quotes instead of having a sealed bid?
Mhm.
It's doesn't be on that ordinance, but it was established by ordinance.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll leave that all to you, but that's just a suggestion that I have.
It'd be less meetings and.
Less everything.
It'll just be easy for the department heads to read.
Well, I know from my own experience, and I'm sure they can attest to this, we end up doing a lot of the, I don't wanna say menial, but the day-to-day tasks that really we should be having other employees do, but whenever you get shorthanded and during a crisis, you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And that can throw you a whole month off, if you miss your deadline to get it in before the next meeting, so.
Yep.
Anyway, anybody have any questions for me?
I don't have anything else. I guess soccer, football, sign-ups are
Halloween's
underway.
coming up.
Yeah, I've reposted, both organizations, they have online signups, I believe. I'm assuming they're probably getting close to being done with those. I know rec soccer is supposed to start here in about 2 weeks of practices. They usually start playing fall fest weekend, I think football scrimmage starts first week of September. And then they have their unaffiliated middle school soccer has already started, their first games are this week, so they're not affiliated with the schools.
Yep,
Yeah, but everything's going good.
okay.
Good,
you.
appreciate the help.
Jason's too.
Why not?
I wasn't on either.
I have it on. No, yours is on.
Oh,
No, theirs, hers is on. but-
okay. James?
Could I just say something about the zoning before you, I know that Todd's not here.
Uh-huh.
I might ask for some indulgence when I talked to Kevin today. We're working on the project that we talked about before. We've got a deadline we have to meet with. And some of it's our fault, but a lot of it's our engineers. Everybody has just indulged in the specialty work coming up. We may need to have some special meetings towards the end of the month in order to get some stuff approved, to make sure we get the ready grant. And if we don't get our ready grant, you know, it's not gonna look good for us in Spencer County for other ready grants down the road. We've got a lot of our ducks in a row for part of it, and part of it is my fault, and I'll take responsibility for that, but the engineers have not helped me in getting stuff done on time. But anyway, we may need some indulgence with that later in the month. And I've talked to Kevin, and I've sent him some stuff today, and we forwarded to, you guys have got copies of some of that. And we're gonna update the rest of that before the end of the week. But we have to have some sealed bids and stuff done by the 30th of the month in order to get that ready grant. So that's $500,000.
Well, I think
Will it keep
everybody.
us from doing the project? No, but it certainly will help pay for the project.
Did you talk to Bruce after I talked to Bruce?
Yes, and but I went over the stuff you sent me, and I may need some indulgence from you and Russ on the stuff with the engineers to get all that stuff plotted on there. Most of that stuff, obviously, they've already got it all surveyed, all that stuff, they just gotta add. 90% of that stuff, but if there's something I don't understand, or they don't understand, we may need to get that stuff done. But we may have to have a special meeting for the zoning board, and I know that has to go to the zoning board, and then we may have to have a special meeting at the end of the month, just for you guys to approve the zoning process. And I'm just asking for that up front. So, and I'm not gonna make excuses, we just gotta get it done. If there's any way we can make it work.
Adding housing to this area is very important. I'll just say
Well, I
that.
mean, we're planning on spending a lot of money there, and it's just a good thing, and we need it, and, you know, so. And
I mean,
we need to do something just to get some of the promote, keep our name in front of the people, because they're gonna have ready 2, ready 3, whatever, you know. And, you know, how much it's gonna be, I don't know. But the process of getting it is really, really time consuming, not just for you guys, but really, really for us. I mean, you have to jump through hoops that are extremely, but I mean, the money is worth some of it, but we need to get our share of it, because we're all paying into it, so we might as well try to get our share of it. That's all I'm asking for, so, as far as the town goes. So.
Yeah, we can schedule meetings as, you know, they come
Well,
about, but.
I'll work with Kevin, we'll get that as we have to have it, some of it's basically by posting times and what we have to post to get stuff done, because we have to actually post some bid, which we can send out early for the bids they have to be public bids on stuff that we have to have done in order to turn invoices in. I just have to have invoices to turn in by 1st of September. And some of it can be you can pre-produce everything from erosion control and some of the other stuff, you can pre-post the stuff. Once we get that done, once we get the project started, we have a year to get it complete. So basically, that $500,000 is gonna help pay for the sewer and water. And Russ has already looked at a lot of it, but most of it is details, it's gotta be added to.
you're gonna have to build all the houses.
No, really, all we have to do is have the infrastructure in.
Okay.
But, I mean, we intend to start something on the existing property as soon, but I can't even start it because I can't get an address to when the thing gets filed. So I can't even get an address to get them to start the property on the property that we already have the streets existing on. So it's which comes first, this, and every time, and anyway, I'm just asking for some indulgence from you guys in the zoning board. And I know I have to talk to the zoning board, but I think you guys do have a little influence there to kind of prod along, and I'm not being mean about it, I'm just saying, I want to just make sure we can get this done to help our community, and not to lose our share of the money that they're passing out everywhere else, so.
As long as Kevin stamps and tells us, I'm all for having meetings.
Yep, we're good.
Whenever you need them.
All right, well, I appreciate the help, thank you so much.
Gary.
Have a good evening, Ron. See ya.
Alright, I believe everybody has a monthly report. You know, if there's any questions, there was one question Kevin and I spoke about already, so nothing major. So I had one other thing I wasn't necessarily gonna bring it up, I apologize. But I had a couple people come to me after, I don't know if you guys are aware, I know Kevin is, the new rule in Christmas Lake Village.
It is actually in your packets. I,
New what?
Dog.
Rule?
Did it in the packet. See, I knew you were gonna bring it up, so I didn't copy
Well,
it.
I know some people come to me.
Hot dogs. Oh.
Yeah, if you wanna look at that.
Yeah.
real
It
quick.
is towards the back, and
And my dog's just
it looks like
got
this.
through a fence.
I just want to.
Second last page, third,
Should be kind of towards the back.
Yeah,
third last page,
I just want to clarify to everyone, because I had a question today from the
before
resident.
Cash Wagner.
The police
Next,
department
right there.
does not and will not enforce HOA rules. That is not us. We are not the ones setting out $1,000 fine. We are not fining anyone. It is a civil issue. It is not criminal. I just wanted to make that clear. That, because somebody come up and asked today, two people, one asked at Holiday Foods, one asked up here, if we were gonna be writing $1,000 tickets, and I said, we do not. So again, we do not and will not enforce any HOA rules.
On number 4, what is that phone number
That's what I was wondering.
That is the 1-800 number for the sheriff's department.
for the sheriff's department in the
It's-
county?
it's Basically, it's an anonymous line / you can talk to a dispatcher.
Okay. Just wondering, making sure there
Because I
wasn't,
Googled it and a bunch of things came up.
Yeah.
don't.
They would just dispatch the appropriate agency to deal with it, but, we will respond if there's a dog
An attack.
bite or an attack. But really, at that point, it's still civil, and all we can do is cite these people for their dog being off of the leash if it is not on their property. If you go on somebody's property and get bit, that's a civil issue. I just wanted to clarify that. And I wasn't going to, and I wasn't gonna bring it up until someone from the public, asked me that question. So, yeah, we don't enforce
Well,
HOA
we don't
rules.
have the legal right to
No,
enforce it.
no, it's a civ, we don't do civ. So if it's a criminal act, yes, we will respond and take care of the situation.
I think that was a clarification that you made.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's got-
if you sit and read that, it thinks it's like the police department's gonna come and kick you out of your home and charge you $1,000.
Yeah,
You're not doing
because
that.
this is gonna cause a lot of issues.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The wording of this is gonna
I know.
cause a lot of issues.
It's
So,
heavy.
It's nice that
Yeah,
he's
just
clarifying that
Yeah,
the
I just
police
want to
are not
clarify
going
to the council and the public that we're not in any way related to that article.
So this is an anonymous
$1,000 fine.
hotline
to the sheriff.
to the
To
sheriff,
the sheriff, correct. yeah.
not to you.
No.
Good.
That's an anonymous line that would be monitored by the sheriff's department,
Okay,
and then they would dispatch out the appropriate person if
okay.
needed. So again, yeah, if it's not criminal, we don't deal with civil issues. We have no authority or no right to. So if you get that question from anybody in the public.
Good. Thank you, we
You
got
can
it.
tell them we're not, Santa Claus and the town of Santa Claus is not writing $1,000 fines. Not at all. So that's all I have on that.
So is this going to open up other things that we've been doing for the village, you think? As far as
So,
citation people for parking on the side of the roads, and, you know, or,
no, I mean, technically, we can only enforce anything in there, that is under the ordinance violation. Or the only thing that we can enforce in there, or a state law crime that's committed, a misdemeanor or above. But no, we can't enforce rules
okay,
if someone's impeding the flow of traffic by parking partially in the roadway, we can enforce that because it's an infraction. So we can enforce that under the ordinance. But, yeah, people are parked in their front yard, or they got their camper in their front yard. We've had those calls, hey, such and such is, camper's been sitting in their front yard, call the village. It's not it doesn't fall under the ordinance violation of the town. It just falls under a HOA rule, which are not enforced by us. And I think some people have the misconception that the village cannot write them tickets, but they can under HOA. So if it's an HOA violation, they can ticket you, I know they have a guy or a girl out on the lake, and they can ticket you for speeding or whatever it is they do on the lake. But we do not enforce those rules.
And the town does not get that money.
Correct.
Yeah, that would be good to know
I think
too.
that may have been one of the persons today was, $1,000 is pretty hefty. What do we do with that money? So we do absolutely nothing with it.
Because we don't get it.
Talk to your property manager, not ours.
And I think they have the police number on here, and as James alluded to, I mean, there is a state law for dog bites.
Oh, yeah, dog attack.
So, I mean, he
We
would
have-
have to respond
We
to
would
a
have to
dog
respond,
bite.
and we would notify the health department, and then the health department comes in, and that state law falls under the health department more so than law enforcement. Because the health department would come in and quarantine the dog for X amount of days.
Exactly.
And
There
we-
is a
we don't
law
even do
in
that.
place
We
for that.
respond, but
Right.
it's that law, state law generally falls under the health department. If someone's bitten by an animal, they have the authority to come in under state law. And we would obviously go with them and assist, to make sure no one else got bit, but yeah, we're not enforcing the $1,000 rule.
Okay.
Just making that clear. Not trying to upset anybody over there or anything. We want to work with them as much as possible, but I think the way it was worded, it almost insinuated that the police department's gonna
Come in there and take care of
control, and
things.
That's not our job.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have on that. Then I was gonna get back to the truck. The one thing I was asking that due to an emergency situation with vehicles and sharing vehicles, that the council approved the $43,605 for the purchase of the vehicle out of the, rainy day fund. And again, that vehicle, if you purchase, I know Jane and I have been in contact about it multiple times. And then, said money's in there, $65,000, it'd be a total of $53,105 with equipment. And what I would ask the council is that, you would give me permission as the department head to spend up to $9,500, because I think I can get it cheaper than that, but if you give me permission to spend up to $9,500 on, lights and equipment for the vehicle, I could 100% stay lower than that. And not to exceed $9,500, but that's.
So what was it 43,600?
43,605.
Okay.
That is for the
Yes, for the vehicle.
2024 Ram 1500 police package, bedliner, 5.7 Hemi at the V8, and then the 9,500 for not to exceed the 9,500, so not to exceed $53,105.
For the light. Should we do that
Weren't we
separately?
talking about taking some money out of,
The rainy
he's
day.
got an account that's got.
Rainy day.
No, I'm not, I know for the car.
Yes,
Okay.
I have that special.
But for the-
But he's got a special fund to maybe take the 9,500 out of.
Yeah, we
Absolutely,
did
yeah.
discuss that. It could come out of, I believe, it's his town marshal account that's got like
Yeah.
13 or 13,000 something in it.
So, yeah.
There's a fund report in here too.
So we need to do them
Look at.
separately.
Yes.
So that's up to you guys, whether you want it all to come out of rainy day or whether you want to use one of his special funds, which we did discuss doing. Town Marshal Special Fund has $13,082.82 in it, and I believe he can use that at your discretion, right?
Yes, that one it can be used for anything according to, State Board of Accounts, that can be used for anything at my discretion.
I would suggest that we use
Use
this,
that for the
and if
95.
we ever need it for some
So I would
other,
not
we can
exceed-
come
I
back
use
to the
it for
rainy day.
anything, But I can't exceed the 5,000, so I would need your permission to spend up to the 95
Right.
out of
Yeah,
that.
Out
you'd
of
have
that.
to do two
Okay.
separate votes if you
Yeah.
Okay.
come out of two separate accounts.
Okay, and that's called the
Marshall's-
Marshall Special Fund.
You want 9,500
Mhm.
up to.
Up to, yeah, just in case. But,
So that leaves money in the
Yeah.
rainy day fund in case we
Yeah.
need it.
Okay.
And when, no money's been taken out of that fund forever,
Right.
so.
Well, that's what we was trying to figure out earlier. I felt like we used it, not us, police department, but I thought the town used it for something last year, but it was very, very small. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it's an account that hasn't been used a lot over the years.
Okay, I make a motion that we grant Chief Falkenberg permission to spend up to $9,500 out of the Marshall Special Fund.
Second.
I have a first and second from Jason, Trish and Jason. Any other comments?
Just that it's for equipment for the.
For
new car.
equipment, yes,
And I'll have
not for
receipts
personal
all
use.
that to-
Right.
To
Yeah.
give to her to show.
Thank you for adding that, yes. So I amend saying for equipment for a purchase, or for equipment for a vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay. If nothing else, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Let be known, it passes 5-0.
So this, you get us everybody in vehicles potentially by the end of the week, minus some equipment.
Correct, yes, I can have everybody in vehicles by the end of the week. I could get that Ram tomorrow, I could drive it back and forth to home and just use.
And that's gonna be a rainy day purchase.
Yes.
Get me to and from an actual call, until we The other place we usually use, actually we've always used, is on Diggy Depot in Owensboro. They recently just signed a contract with Evansville PD, and Evansville PD gets 40 new vehicles a year, and guess what? They just got 40 vehicles sitting on their lot, so he said it'd be months before he could get to me anyways, but his price was actually a little higher than what Perry County can do. And I don't think they're quite as swamped, because they're fairly new into it.
Okay.
Just get one of those Starsky and Hush.
Beep, beep.
Get one of those and hang my head out the window. Yeah.
So we need a motion
Yes.
for the purchase of the vehicle also.
Correct.
Yeah, from the rainy day, and you want that to not exceed
$43,605.
You think
All right,
that's
make
gonna
a
be
motion.
right on?
That's what he sent me again today. I said, I need the exact price.
Okay,
He said
Okay.
$43,605. If he would come back with a different amount, I would reach out to you immediately, but.
okay,
All right, so I make a motion to approve the purchase of
2024 Ram.
a truck for, what's the amount, 43,605?
Correct, yes.
Yes.
Second.
Have a first and second. One comment, you okay with the Dodge? I thought we were
Not the
questioning.
Dodge, the Ram.
It's a rain.
It's not a Dodge anymore.
So I may be able to clarify a little bit on the Chrysler products. The trucks
Rams aren't made by
have
Dodge.
had no issues. The 5.7 Hemi has had no issues.
The new one has had no
The
issues.
new issue, yeah, the new one has had no issues. The issue they're having is with the Dodge Durangos, which are coming out with V6s in them, and there's a
Cooler.
oil cooler that's bad in them. The trucks, I spoke with Warwick County Chief Deputy of the Sheriff's Department, and they have 12 of them on the road. He said, we've never had an issue. Vandenberg County just ordered 15 to put their people in. One of the big reasons really is, it's pretty much the only vehicle you can get now with a V8 in it is the trucks. They're kind of doing away with the V6s, and although you would think, and Jason probably would know, and you guys that know vehicles, the V6 versus the V8 gas mileage, there's no difference. That 5.7 Hemi gets the same gas mileage that my V6 Durango gets. But what you're finding out is the V6s are just not holding up to the constant stop and go and running all day and stop and go is where it's becoming an issue.
Okay.
Should we add that it's from the rainy day fund or not? Do we need to make sure that it says rainy day
Yeah,
fund?
he said
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
didn't know
good,
that.
thank
Yeah.
you.
So I have a first and second by, from Mike and Brian. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Let me know, and it passes 5-0.
Buy
I
a
want to
truck.
bring something else to the council. If the council be interested in, I've spoken with one council member, and I know on the wish list, and Jenny and I discussed the whole, we're running out of room. I know this is not something that's gonna happen tomorrow or next year, the next year, maybe 5 years plus from now. God willing, I'll live a long time, you never know. But I was gonna see if the council would be interested in giving me the permission to, find out prices, contact Midwest Engineering about looking at the community center and see about adding on to the side of it.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
just for storage. Zach and I spoke about it today, and he said, whatever, I'm good with it.
Mhm.
If,
Police department.
yeah, if the council would give me permission, I would get with Russ and get hold of Midwest Engineering and see if they could at least just go out and survey and see if it's feasible and if there's enough room there to even do it.
Mhm. Balance that thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
Yep.
So that's all I'm asking is permission to at least contact them if there's money involved.
So you
I'll
want
come
out
back to you
the-
next month.
Do we have to vote on that?
Yes. No, on the east side.
somewhere.
On the
Yeah.
east side, going out
Okay.
towards the,
So it kind of balances it out.
right.
Do we have to vote on that? Just say, hey, yeah.
We've talked about it.
Yeah,
numerous
we have.
times,
Yeah, yeah.
But I think you have to.
Find
I
out.
think I need your guys' permission in order to contact them, or at least get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we're
That
not
doesn't
spending any
require
money
a
yet,
vote.
so. Hmm?
Always authorize him to do it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he can, because I mean, it's a department head, he can check it out.
Mhm.
It's not gonna cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Have at it.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Where were we with the other car that was in the shop last time?
It's sitting in the garage in there, the motor's completely shot.
Gone.
Yeah, it's gone. That's what I was gonna get to. I'm glad you brought that up. So I need permission from the council. We have in the garage Jaws. Let me praise Jaws for a minute. They did not charge us a dime.
Do what?
To go get that vehicle, to diagnose that vehicle, to haul it back up here and put it in our garage, secure. They didn't charge us a dime. That was not asked of them. He just told me, he said, don't worry about it, we want to take care of our first responders, period, not just the police department. I just need permission from the council to start stripping it, salvage what I can, and then I would probably come back to you next month and see about putting it on a auction, and auction it off to the public. I've personally never done that since I've been chief, so I'm not sure how to do it, so I'll have to get guidance.
They won't take it in as a trade-in, would they?
Doesn't run.
I can ask him, but I doubt it with the motor being blown. I don't think they want to fool with it.
It doesn't run.
No, it's shot.
It'll be a scrap vehicle.
Yeah, if somebody wanted to, if somebody was mechanically inclined, you could probably get a used motor for $1,000. You don't know what you're getting, you don't know how many miles it's on it, but if you know how to put a motor in a car, the body is excellent.
That's an all-wheel drive car, isn't it?
What's that?
That's the all-wheel drive one, right?
All-wheel drive, Dodge Charger. Somebody that's got mechanic, there'll be some mechanic bill, I guarantee you that.
Now, when he finds out it's all-wheel drive, he won't.
You don't think you will? A lot more headaches with it? Yeah, because you got it. I
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, you might as well strip out of it when you can, use.
Yeah.
If you want to get any permission now to go ahead and put it up for bid, I'll get with Kevin tomorrow and see what all I have to do.
Let's get it out of the way. Wait, it's junk.
Yep, get rid of it.
So let me ask you this too, can I have permission to also do a public bid on the 2014 Ford, it's called a Ford Interceptor, it doesn't say Taurus on it anywhere, but it's basically a Ford Taurus. The transmission, torque converter's going out of it, it's another vehicle that is just not worth salvaging because it's got over 150,000 miles on it.
So I mean, you're not driving it now?
Yeah.
They use it for doing, Holiday World, they use it doing traffic, so I really didn't want to get rid of it.
Can we wait until after that?
Yeah, it's good for that, but
Yeah.
like Jason, I took it to Jason's house one day and we looked, and Jason said, I wouldn't take it on a call because I'm going to save somebody's life.
Let's just save it till
And after the
October.
transmission goes out, then we're looking at lawsuits, and I don't want that, so.
No.
So,
I mean, if you're gonna have them bid, we might as well
Put 'em together.
do 2 of them.
together, yeah. So we're gonna be without a full vehicle then, right?
We'll have one full vehicle, a 2012 Chevy Impala, which still runs like a traffic snake. It just doesn't have a siren, it just has lights. But I spoke with Gentryville today, the town marshal in Gentryville has a siren box that he said we can have. He said, we just took it out of our Crown Vic, if you want it, you can have it. I
Good.
think we're just gonna throw that in the Impala, and then we'll have a full car, until we get another vehicle in January. It just puts us in a tough spot, but the only, I guess, good thing about the whole thing is we're going into a holiday world, it's only open on the
Yep.
weekends, so the reserves are really not putting in as many hours. And if they do, they're more than welcome to take mine. I've let them drive mine several times, I try not to let them, do it a whole lot with it being unmarked unless they're doing undercover stuff. Like, we have storage units getting broken into, cars in Hollywood, parking lot getting broken into, so they kind of use it for that quite often. But right now, it's good to go. I just hate to keep driving, Bone's been switching in and out with a new guy. He's not new, he's been here almost a year, but that vehicle's running 16 hours a day instead of 8 hours a day now.
Yeah, these guys should have to share it off and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion for that?
You got some other stuff, junk out there too, like that light bar off the old car.
I have light bars off the old car, which we can't sell those to the general public. Those would only be, because they're blue, red and blue, we could
Oh,
only,
that's right.
we could sell those to another agency, which I don't have to have. You don't have to go through the bidding process if it's another police agency. But yeah, since they're red and blue lights, we can't sell them unless the fire department guy could go in and change them all blue. I have no idea how that works. But we do have a couple really good light bars.
Russ said he has some surplus stuff. I'll check with.
I'll give it to you, Russ.
Yeah, try to get it all
He
together.
mentioned it a few months ago about having some junk.
You have surplus?
I have just some old computers.
Odds and- okay.
just Odds and ends things,
Mhm.
nothing major.
You might as well do it all. at once
Yeah,
if you can.
yep.
But I don't even know if those computers,
I'll
I
check.
mean.
I know.
They even sell.
No,
I mean, 'cause
they'll
we have to
probably
take
toss
everything
them.
out of them because of the information, so I don't even know that that's even.
Yeah,
You see it go for, I think there's some precious metals in there that some people salvage.
yeah,
Really?
they're salvageable.
Okay.
Do they still take them at the recycle center? They did.
Auction stuff, I think so.
I'll say we've held several public auctions throughout the years, and computers are typically.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
They don't go with it.
Because of the scrap, but personally, I would scrap them out myself, pull all the PCs out. and all.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I mean, they're not gonna be working until we pull all this stuff out.
Well, the other side of that is it's hazardous for the environment.
Yeah.
It's a landfill as well, so you have to take it to recycling centers. so
Yeah.
they can be properly recycled.
the recycle center used to take them down in, you have to take them all the way to Christie, but I don't know if they do it in, yeah,
And we have stuff like that as well, so we don't look at the pile, we can haul it.
yeah,
I'll
If I
have to
just,
take it all, wipe it all out and
Yeah.
take all this stuff out of it.
Yeah.
We'll just send out an email to all the department heads tomorrow, asking what they have to give to me in the next week or so, and then we'll bring it, all of us will bring it back to
Yeah.
your attention next
and
month.
auction it out.
Yeah, so we typically.
Including junk, including value, because you still have to declare like those old.
Oh, yeah.
You still have to declare those to be.
Devalued things, yeah, mm-hmm,
So you would need a resolution allowing the department heads to dispose.
So I would
of
just
even
bring like the
trash.
serial numbers
You
of
have
the
to-
ones I want disposed of, bring the serial numbers, and
Yeah,
then they
that's what I
would
would
say
do.
there's no value in them,
Yes.
and then I can take them
Yeah.
to the recycle center.
And then I'll get with Kevin, I really want something solid on those vehicles, letting whoever knows that it's as is, this is what's wrong with it.
Yes.
Have Kevin look at that and say, okay, yes, this is not gonna hold the town, no
Liable.
liability whatsoever, they know it when they buy it.
mhm.
Okay. Then, once we get the new vehicles and old vehicles gone, we need to let the insurance people know.
As,
I've been in contact with her. I wish our insurance for our personal vehicles was as cheap as, police cars are, because it's like $400 a year.
Yeah, it's hardly anything.
Yeah, it's hardly anything.
That's not fair.
I'm for 6 months.
hey, as a fraternal order of police, know that people's hearts are with you guys after losing Amanda Clem, so I know that was a big loss for a lot of people.
Yeah, thank you.
I did have a note in the police department. I was accosted by one of our officers one night, about, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Should have been walking around in your underwear.
But it
I
was
heard
really
you were
funny.
littering or something.
No, I was taking cat crap out to the trash.
That's littering, litter.
It was like, I don't know, 11:30 at night, and he pulled back, of course, he flashed his lights at me, and I went up and shot the crap with him for a few minutes. I had, within an hour, 2 different neighbors in contact.
Are you okay, Kevin?
Yeah, something went on in the neighborhood, I'm like, no, they're just doing basically, well, just, checking, and he was checking to see if so they really appreciate the fact that you all are doing those late night checks, seeing if people's garage doors are open.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing.
So he was running around in their underwear.
Or house doors and dogs.
Everywhere.
No, I think they're short.
Yeah.
They could have been boxers.
They really appreciate the police department doing those late night checks.
That's good.
Making yourselves be seen out in the neighborhood.
So now they got another rule. Good evening, everyone. I trust everybody's doing well tonight. Just real briefly on the trail portion, just an update on our next level trail, which is completing about another mile of the Santa Claus and Discovery Trail. We had some dollars allotted, I believe it was somewhere around 80,000 in the budget for engineering, so we brought Midwestern Engineers on board. And to backtrack a little bit, we are working off the plans that Clark Deeks had originally drafted for us. They are 99.99% ready to go. We had a couple of kinks there Obviously, over in Lincoln City, we've got them looking at it. It's nothing we can't resolve, but we do hope to go to bid, this fall, we have big construction next year. That is all that I have under trails. Mr. Council has any questions? Under street department, real brief, and again, we'll get to the report later. Earlier this spring, earlier this year, I found out a new funding entity for, it's called Safe Streets for All. It is a way to mitigate any hazards that we have in our transportation system. Transportation being roads and streets, sidewalks, trails, et cetera. So I know we're talking about visual and audible alarms at some of our trail crossings, so we are hoping to leverage some of our dollars with state grants to, again, mitigate some of those concerns. So one way to do that is through the Safe Streets for All. Before that, we have to have done what they call a planning grant. So we have applied for that. I'm going to have actually come up and give a brief 2-hour discussion on the Safe Streets for All application. But anyway, so we've applied for that, and I'll let Ashley get into the details. I tasked her with taking the lead on that, and she did a bang up job on it. We have to have the planning grant done, so essentially we hire an engineering firm to come in, someone who's schooled and versed in the ways of the transportation system, and let us know what our deficiencies are in the transportation. So again, that's just a prerequisite to be eligible for these other funds. So actually, if you want to give them just a brief update on the grant that we submitted last week.
You guys have all of these
In the
there.
back. Mhm.
That's what those are related to.
I actually emailed a PDF to you
Yes,
guys, and I
mhm.
saw that picture right back to me, thank you very much. I sent an email to you guys this morning, letting you guys know that I had applied for the, Safe Streets for All grant, on August the 8th, it was accepted. We will hear more about it in November, if we've been approved or denied, but I'll you guys know more. We are requesting up to $100,000. This is mainly because the way that the town is growing, our pedestrian crossing needs to be updated a little bit, I think. I did get with the police department about this, and they're like, oh my God, it's too much, but I kind of like that. But if you look at the PDF that I sent you guys this morning, I see that Kevin has it in front of him. It will allow not only just daytime use, but nighttime use for the pedestrians, because we do have a lot of pedestrians that they say Holiday World or Holiday Foods walking at night, and people exercise at night too.
Yep.
And it'll just light up the streets of the crosswalk, because I know the one that we have here at Holiday World, the main one, is a little bit, it's dim,
Yep.
but we can still see it. But over here where, say, Casey's is at, and Circle A, and also crossing, say, the
There's
Legend, for
nothing.
example, it's, there's nothing to protect the pedestrians.
Okay,
Or our cars.
Are you looking at one down at Casper too?
Or Casper.
Yeah,
Yep.
Casper
Talk about-
too, because Casper just.
There may be others. I mean, once the engineers
Yeah,
come in and do
right.
their inspection, I'll call it, maybe other areas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I know you can't see in that copy that you're looking at, Kevin, very well, but in the email that I sent you guys, it talks about each individual, explanation for the crosswalk, like say the system activation. What it does is that it'll ensure this pedestrians that can alert drivers as they're coming up, it'll be like, hey, you need to stop, or don't cross because the car's coming. There's also gonna be sound for somebody that, say they can't see, but they can hear it. There's somebody coming, don't cross, or don't go when there's a car coming. And then I brought up I've been talking to Trish from NDOT, she used to work with me with Russ. And I was talking about how it's like 45 miles an hour. I'm like, really? How's somebody gonna slow down at 45 when somebody's coming across the street? You're not gonna have time. So I think it should be 25. That's my personal opinion. And then the stop sign over here at Holiday World, where nobody stops. Everybody thinks it's a four-way stop, and it's not. Or they think it's an ongoing, like, they just don't stop. And I think there needs to be more signage there as well.
Okay. That's signage on the state highways has to come from the state highway department.
Even if it's facing Holiday Boulevard? Like when you're crossing
Yes,
Holiday
when you're,
Boulevard.
any place you're crossing the state highway, those signs have to be established by the state of Indiana in place.
Would that be something that I could probably present to them?
Sure.
Mhm.
Because that'd be fun.
So are there
Yeah.
any questions about the application?
My only argument about that is Holiday World was able to put a crosswalk out here with those electronic signs on it. So we should be able to do the same elsewhere in the town. So,
I mean,
Yeah, maybe if you don't get a lot of pull with NDOT, get Holiday World involved with NDOT, with you. Because they have power, yeah, I know you will, so do it, yeah,
I'll go about that. I
Mhm.
won't just stop at one person.
good.
we can,
Once we have the inspection done, we'll have these items and other things to discuss. I just want to make sure that the council is clear on the application
That's awesome.
process and what we've done. We will be allotting dollars from the existing road and streets funds to help pay for the engineering next year, so.
Excellent.
And Jane also thought maybe another funding source. I'll ask you about it later.
Okay.
We should
Awesome.
need to go through.
when you, I know you know a lot of people at NDOT, when you get ready to actually talk to NDOT, I'd like to be in that conversation.
I'll invite,
Okay?
I'll invite all of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I figure we ought to get all grades in one basket, so to speak, and then because we've done it in the past before. And again, there are special considerations if you have a hazardous crossing. Again, the dorms up there are a prime example. Yeah, NDOT, all that stuff was installed by NDOT and approved by NDOT, so
Right.
it's not beyond the realm of possibility.
right.
But I've mentioned the 25 mile an hour up here, and I've mentioned it to Trish, and she was like, you're right. Because when they do the surveys up here, they don't do it until like, I think November. That's the wrong time of the year.
Yeah.
to really do a survey.
From Yellig up,
We had them do that one year, they actually agreed to come in during the summertime and do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because usually they do them in the fall, and we told them to come in during the summertime to do a
Yeah.
traffic count.
Because they're not gonna catch anything if they come in
No.
November and dead.
Yeah.
come when we have
That's
millions of
almost an act
people.
the governor to get them to even do a traffic count or something.
Mhm.
So I forgot what you said, actually, we should find out whether we.
Down by Yellig.
In November.
Go from Yellig up 25 already, instead of 25 hitting the stop sign.
Is there any questions?
So
I
from
think go
Yellig,
for it.
That's 45
Huh?
right there.
Go for it.
And then 25, that's with that big crosswalk.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Brett.
Yeah, that highway too.
And just real briefly, I did apply, again, as spoken about the last meeting, with the community crossing application. We did find out toward the end of September, beginning of October, who are the awardees for that grant. So just as a reminder, our project estimate was $1.4 million and some change. Town's share on that would be $354,000 and some change. Again, using various MVH, local road and streets, et cetera, funds to pay the town match. That is all I have on the street department. And I really have nothing under the wastewater department.
I do, I have something under wastewater. I got a major compliment from a group of individuals who came and toured the facility. Chris, I think, led them around. They were amazed with the quality of work, with the quality of people you have there, and with the quality of the tour. So thank you very much for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, and I told Mary and I told Randy, who kind of headed up that,
Mhm.
we like to, very seldom do we get challenged.
Mhm.
So we relish when we get,
A cha-
requests for tours, like I told Mary earlier, I mean, everybody should be more concerned about what we're giving you. I would think that they're.
Yeah.
A lot more people should see that.
But
You could eat off the floor in there for one.
That's awesome.
I can take very little credit for that. We strive for employee development, we strive for training, and obviously we're licensed through the state to run those types of plants. So the state is there to help us along the way, but no, we thank Mary and her group for the kind comments on Facebook, and we appreciate your kind comments tonight as well. But yeah, my guys take their job very seriously.
We're coming back for wastewater.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Little different, setup than what you're used to, or what you've seen here, so it's the other end of the water.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the back
Close to
end.
lower intake.
The back end.
Yeah. So no, we appreciate it, and we look forward to having you guys. Under water, we do have a couple of pay requests tonight, and, oh, and by the way, performance pipeline and smoke screen curing plate pipe are not here during that pay period, so they will not have a pay request. They won't be back till the 25th of August, so.
I don't know if y'all knows the numbers at the top. You didn't mention that.
I'm sorry?
We had 1.68 inch.
Yes,
It's raining more this year than last year, but the flow actually was
Yeah.
a million gallons less.
Yeah,
which
what's,
is-
yeah.
That's the PBI, that's stopping infiltration.
Thank you for stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry.
He was wanting to get the home run.
You was doing knock on the water, you said you're.
And,
Yeah.
But I always say I defer the report to the last.
I'm sorry.
And it was
That
nice.
was just too good not to say something. I mean, usually it's an inch more rain, we get another 2 inches of water.
Yeah, more to follow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Let's go this time. So underwater, we do, in the water department, we do have a couple of pay requests, one from, Copper Ridge Contracting, who's doing the 16 and 12-inch water line, water main reinforcement, and then from Midwestern, who's overseeing, construction installation. So, for council's consideration, Copper Ridge Contracting has a pay request in for $276,283.80. And as usual, the engineers look over the progress and their reports and the amount stored. I do the same thing as well. We've done it, and I've given Jamie the signed pay request for approval for your consideration.
I make a motion to approve the pay request for Copper Ridge Contracting in the amount of $276,283.80.
Second.
Have a first and second on this to pay Copper Ridge from Mike and Jason. There's no other discussion. We call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known it passes 5-0.
Thank you. We also have for consideration tonight a pay request from Midwestern for construction inspection in the amount of $10,771.81.
looking for that paper. Where's the 57? Yeah.
You gotta be careful sometimes, there's.
Oh, wait, 10,000, what was it?
$10,771.81.
Hmm.
The copier must have missed them.
Yeah, can't approve it, can't claim it.
Last time, say the number again.
I'm sorry?
Say the number one more time, 10,000.
Yeah.
$10,771.81.
And that would be to Midwestern, correct? Okay. I make a motion to pay out Midwestern Engineering's $10,000, $10,771.81.
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
Have a first and second from Mike, Trish and Mike. There's no other discussion on this. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let be known it passes 5-0, no nays.
Yeah, other than, I did forward to the council, what they call the dashboard, report from our annual water audit. The water audit is a plan or a project that was developed by the Indiana Finance Authority. Again, it is a tool that we use to monitor the health of our water distribution system. And I won't go through everything tonight, but if you look at the dashboard page, the bottom left-hand corner is the numbers that you guys want to see and want to know. So the audit software that the state has let us use gives us performance indicators, gives us types of things to look for in our system. We talk about apparent water losses, real water losses, and revenue losses. But again, In the scheme of things, the town of Santa Claus has pretty tight control over the water that we produce, buy, and resell wholesale into our retail customers. So, again, in that bottom left-hand corner, that is really the pulse of where we are. So, again, we talk about apparent losses, which is data handling, billing errors, et cetera, like that. We talk about real losses, that is unauthorized use, water leaks, et cetera. So, if you look at that first column there, it talks about what our apparent losses are. So through data handling and billing errors, we are not able to account for 2.3 million gallons of water per year. Okay, you see that in the bottom left there? Okay, so that amounts to $18,190 in apparent lost revenue. If you go down to the next row, under real losses, again, unauthorized consumption, water leaks, blah, 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 we lose approximately 26 million gallons of water per year at a cost to the utility of $122,685. So the next row, they have blended those, and here's kind of where we stand. So we lose revenue on almost 30 million gallons of water a year, okay, at a loss to the utility of $144,141. So again, we kind of moaned and griped a little bit when the state said to come down here and do this. Well, I have been doing this for years, but not just as scientific. But this is a fantastic tool that they've given us to use. And I know that sounds bad what I just said, but we are doing better than most. I think the national average is 40 or 50% water loss. I talked to folks in here that are 60% water loss, and these are real losses, real water loss, real revenue loss. We're doing reasonably well. And just real quickly, up here in the top left corner, you'll see, I've got mine highlighted, but data validity. Again, that's just telling us how good our data collection and billing, et cetera, things are handled. So we're right at about 52%. So we're working on it. We've come up, I mean, last year we were at 43%. This is something we do every year, but for in each even year, we actually have to do a water audit verification, which I am the validator, the violator, as they call me. So we again go through, we discuss, what tools are we using to look? Are we going for the low hanging fruit, looking for water leaks, et cetera? How did you get this data? Why don't we do this differently to get more accurate billing? So we work on those things. So again, it was kind of a pain in the rear end, but it's really a good tool, and we're using it to its most. So I got my guys are taking it very seriously. In fact, I'm grooming a fellow to kind of become the next validator, once I step out of that role. Anyway, just want to bring the council up to speed on that, so, again, I believe that's all I have.
I have one other thing, another invoice from Indiana 15.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's on the same EDA project. It's Indiana 15 invoice number 4, and it's in the amount of $10,000 to be paid from the EDA.
So that's basically for administrative, right?
Yeah, it's for administrative grant fees.
Make a motion that we pay Indiana 15 Regional Planning Commission $10,000 according to the water project.
Second.
Have a first and second from Trish and Jason. If there's no other discussion on this, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know, it passes 5-0.
Now to the monthly utility report. Aforementioned utility report. So, yeah, with the attaboys, we've got some bad boy stuff on here too, and I'm gonna think that out as well. But, yeah, like Kevin said, I would like to think, and if I recall, I believe last month's flow data may have shown something very similar, but again, as Kevin pointed out, we hope that we're making a difference in our wastewater collection system. Again, if you look at the top where we compare the current wastewater flows versus rainfall, you should see a difference there, because in this year, in the month of July, we had 7 3/4 inches of rain, and we took in 18.5 million gallons of water. Last year, at the same time, we had less rain, 6.04 inches, but yet took in more water. Again, I want to caution everyone that this I&I thing is a very dynamic thing. There are a lot of things that go into the study of, determination of, and remediation of. But no, I think that's a good indicator that we may be doing some good. I out of the 50,000 linear feet that we're having repaired, we've probably done, I think, 11 or 15,000 feet just in the 7th subdivision, and has a lot of lines along the lake. We have found cracked pipe after root wad, after backup manhole, so, and we're getting ready to move what I'll call the south side, along Prancer Lane there, and again, we've got the same problem. We've got a pipe in there that we don't even know that we can fix with this method. We may actually have to dig up and put a new pipe in, it's that bad, so. But anyway, so we hope we're spending our money wisely and making a difference in our collection system. Again, you know, we've been studying I&I for years, at least from a flow basis, and we've been through all the numbers, so we took our top 5 offenders, as we called it, and that's where we started, so. But anyway, so the bad boy part is we did have a sanitary sewer surcharge, and what that means is basically a manhole that overflowed. If I recall, that was like July 3rd, just the day before the holiday, we had that storm, and it took a control circuit out of one of our lift stations, and we weren't, you know, it was like 7, 8 o'clock when we got the call, we responded, and we were there until about 3 in the morning, getting the lift station back up. But anyway, so we will probably get hit by that EPA hounds item over sanitary sewer overflow, and then item hounds us, and as Kevin and Mike are aware, we've seen a couple of those letters before, but they know, they work with us, they know what we're doing. In the past response letter, this recent response letter, we did explain to them about the rehab that we're doing and the things that we would do to mitigate these in the future. So, we also, along that same ilk, we did have 2 ammonia violations in June. Again, we will probably get gigged on that, but again, we've got several factors that are involved there. We do have some process equipment that is down for repair, and we're waiting on parts and pieces. And if you guys aren't aware, Jason probably is, I don't know who else deals in raw stock, raw material, but it doesn't matter what you want, it's a minimum of 10 weeks out. And we actually ordered a piece of equipment in fall of '23, was told it would be here in January, we got it in May. It got here, it was the wrong part. So it is now in Dallas, Texas, being rehabbed and refitted, and I think there's probably another 8 to 10 weeks out getting up here now, so that's the world in which we live, so.
And these violations, Rush, are not self-imposed, but self-reported, right?
That's correct, that's absolutely right, yeah. So each month, we have to submit to the state a monthly report of operation, or MRO, and those are numbers on there. And then, yes, and then once they come typically annually to inspect the plant, you'll discuss those, and obviously they have like a team of 3 or 4 people, I think, that look at these things each month, and submit them. So yes, it is a self-reporting thing. Everything else is pretty much routine. Again, I just wanted to highlight that we did encounter a couple of those in July. So everything else pretty much straightforward. I gave the TIPP update. Lateral, I don't know if those numbers are correct. We may have one off. I actually was in control of the log for a while when I was in between administrators, so probably my fault. But we'll look at that again and make sure the numbers are correct next month. Talk about the 88 water line, paying bills tonight. I would dare to say they're 45, maybe 50% done. If you guys have seen, they've been up at the, I think it's called the Legend Lot 8, that'd be correct. So we had the board under the highway. I think they got the board done today. They have to install a casing and put pipe under there. Then from there, they will do the tie-in and run directly west to this meter pit right out here by Holiday Water Tower. Then they've got to get up to Ashburn. And if things go as smoothly as they have last couple of weeks, they should make some good progress here. So I have.
Thank you.
Very good. Industrial park.
Nothing on the industrial park.
They just update, we did allot some money to also have the industrial parks wastewater
Oh, yeah.
system upgraded. So they're trying to get some of this other stuff under their belt and probably at this point, we'll wait till fall until when the sticks and sugars are gone. I do have to do some right away clearing for my people, so, but yeah, that's continuing. That's all I have on the deputy part.
Okay, Kevin?
All I have for you tonight is ordinance 2024-05. This would be the second reading and adoption. It's an ordinance amending section 10.16.0183 of the municipal code of the town of South Carolina concerning sewer lateral inspections. You will call this is what, because of state law, we're not allowed to condition the transfer of a residential property on requiring a sewer lateral. So this is changing it so that now it is, on commercial buildings, it's still a change of ownership. Still do that, but it is anytime that there is a reconnection of discontinued water service or upon the change of water service to a new water customer at the property on which the lateral is located. So it would be the change of water customers, what would be the triggering event to require lateral inspection. In all other regards, you're keeping the same requirements of the lateral inspection ordinance as it currently exists.
As discussed at the public hearing last meeting.
Yes.
All good?
No changes have been made.
Okay. You have a motion to approve this?
This is the second reading.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a first.
Second.
I have a second.
Can you read the title again?
It is
2024.
ordinance 2024-05, an ordinance amending section 10.16.0183
Second
of the municipal
reading.
code of the town of South Claus, Indiana concerning sewer lateral inspection.
Second reading.
This is the second reading
Okay.
adoption.
I have a first from Mike and a second from Jason. There's no other discussion on this issue. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, passes 5-0.
All I have for you.
And that's effective right now.
Okay, I have a couple things. Just a reminder again of the August 15th budget meeting at 5 PM here at Town Hall for finalizing the budget. The copper drain treatment was completed on July 26th. So far, we're not having any further issues. He said to give it a month to see if we, notice any more wood shavings or anything. If so, they're gonna come back and treat it a second time, but they're gonna drill holes into the seams of the ceiling to allow the fog to penetrate it better if we continue to have issues. So far, I haven't noticed anything, but we're gonna keep an eye on the chairs to make sure there's no wood shavings falling or anything, and see. If so, we'll have to have them come back out.
Thank you for all your hard work getting this place cleaned up afterward.
It was a lot of work. Thankfully, we had help from Zach and from Gabe Falkenberg that came up and helped remove all the heavy stuff for us. But also, I would like to publicly thank my girls in my office who worked hard to remove all the small stuff, the chairs, all the stuff off the walls, all the stuff like that, and, got it put back together for the meeting. So, we got everything cleaned, we got the carpet shampooed again, they look much, much nicer. So hopefully we don't have to do it again, but if we do, we're prepared to do that, so,
Okay.
we'll just keep an eye on it.
Jane, before you guys go drill a hole, I'd like to look at the drawing again. I don't know that there's an airspace up there. I think you got that, and you got like 2 inches of insulation, and I think the roof. I don't know if there's an airspace up there or not, I just don't.
Okay. Okay, I'll
Drill
let you
hole
know.
into-
I'll let you know if it gets to that.
And it rained.
On that new roof we
We
put
were
up?
in the meeting.
So we'll get with you if we have issues and kind of.
Woodpecker.
We redid some of the ceiling out there, and I don't remember there being an airspace in there.
Okay. So we may have another plan after
Yes.
that, not sure.
Plan
Hopefully,
C.
fingers crossed, we don't have any more issues and we won't have to worry about it. I did meet with the DLGF, during our budget workshop. That was on August 8th, or August 7th. That went really well, and then we'll highlight that at the budget hearing on Thursday. I I've got a couple other things. I've got a medical trust quote from AIM included in your packet. No action to be taken on this. This is just for you guys to review. We won't get our medical rates with our current health insurance until November the 1st. It's a 60-day before our renewal policy, so we still have a while, but it was requested of me in the past to look into AIM's medical trust. So after we got the family insurance set up and everything, I did reach out to them, and this is the packet that they sent me for their quote, just for you guys to have time to look at it. So no action, just wanted to pass on that information for you. I have a invoice here from Midwest Engineering for the engineering work they did at the fire station about making it handicap accessible for $960. We need to decide where we're going to pay them out of. I'm assuming we could pay them out of TIP since it's in the TIP district, right? For engineering costs? No?
Fire station, the fire station was the
Yeah, I think it was. So I don't know if you want to pull it there, pull it out of rainy
That
day.
was our
pull
TIP
it-
plan, was the fire station.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's up to you guys where you want
I think
to pay it out of.
that's
but-
logical if it's a TIF. I mean,
Yeah, that was the original TIP, right?
Yeah,
mhm,
That,
yeah.
Okay,
mhm,
that and Patrick Drive.
mhm.
okay, so I just need
Make a
a,
motion to pay the Midwest Engineers invoice for
960.
the amount of $960 for the fire station second floor handicap accessibility issue.
Second.
Have a first and second from Jason and Trish. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Or those opposed, say nay. Be known, it passes 5-0.
and the other thing I have is, I need to pay Brian Warren for his mileage from when he went up to accept that check
Mhm.
for the trails. I did do some research on that, and it looks like in the past, we have paid for mileage. I think the most recent one was Trish, somewhere she went sometime last year or the year before, and it was paid out of rainy
It
day.
was 5 years ago that I went
Okay,
to AIM.
okay, well, I had to do some digging. And so it was paid out of rainy day
Yes.
at that point. I don't know if you guys want me to pay his mileage out of rainy day, or if you want me to take it out of travel and training, from the 3 departments that the council are paid out of, which would be the clerk treasurer, the water, and the wastewater. I don't know if you want me to divide.
What's the rate? 65?
60.
What was the
It
purpose?
should be 65.
Pick up the check for the,
It was, we got the big, I'd
Yeah, when
say,
he traveled to go up to.
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're gonna reimburse him for his mileage.
Yes.
But it's fine with me whichever guys wanna do, I think we can, pay him out of either. I mean, it is travel, and he does get paid out of his, monthly amount for his pay to be on the council, comes out of clerk treasurer, wastewater, and water. Remember when we got our state board of accounts, how they made us
Yes.
change that instead of each council getting paid out of one person out of each kind of department, they made us
Do
change
it from-
that in 2024, so
thirds.
they all get paid a third.
I would take it out of travel.
yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Okay. So,
That's what it's there for.
I don't need a vote on that because that money's already been appropriated.
Okay,
I was just gonna need a vote on it if it was gonna come out of rainy day.
good.
And, I think that is all I have.
What is the other invoice for?
That was part of just that water EDA
Okay.
project, yeah.
Okay.
Jane, can we get a copy of this to Russ and some of the other department heads?
Sure, I can make them copies and put them in their boxes.
Insurance?
It's medical insurance from AIM Medical Trust.
Yeah,
The only drawback that I see with going with this, just to keep this in mind, is when you do sign up for being a part of this pool with other towns, I think it's a 4-year commitment. I don't know if that's in here or not, but, I'll have to look at that. So you're locked in with this pool. So it's not year to year like we're currently doing with our, you know, where we just have to give a 30-day notice if we wanna do something else. Once we agree to this, we're locked in.
We're stuck.
We're stuck. No matter what the, rate increase is or whatever, we're locked into that. Now, he did provide in here, kind of a chart of what the rate increase has been for the last several years. So, anyway, it's just information to look over, ponder, and see. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to bring up that's not on here, I didn't make a note of it, is, Seth Wendell had reached out to me about our, deferred comp retirement program through John Hancock. He is interested in us switching advisors to him, because he's local. You know, we were dealing with Kurt Willard, who passed away recently, and Kurt was amazing. It's a huge loss to our town, really, because he went above and beyond, for the town a lot. We are currently using the person they assigned us. You know, when he passed, they just assigned us to somebody else. His name is Scott Scales. He's from Evansville. The customer service is not as great as it was with Kurt, which, you know, Kurt set a high bar.
Yeah.
But, it is a little bit more difficult, it seems, for the employees, to meet up with this person and everything. So Seth did reach out, and wanted to see if we would be interested in switching John. Everything would remain the same from my understanding. We could have Seth come and explain this if you would like it in a future meeting. But my understanding is the actual plan that we have with John Hancock, there would be no changes with that. It would just be who our advisor, our minister is.
Have an agent in Evansville or have an agent in the town?
I know, duh.
So, you know, my thought is that, you know, having someone local is a benefit to the employees, because if they have questions about their retirement, they wanna make changes to their retirement, they can do so on their lunch hour, they can, you know, just buzz right over here, make changes, talk to somebody, get more information. It is more convenient to have an advisor local.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense, really.
So I'm totally on board with that. The thing that I would be concerned about, if you guys are not aware, it is an annuity, and I would be concerned about how they would handle our money differently than what John, that would be my biggest.
And like I
Right.
said, I mean, I can, if you guys are interested in pursuing this, I mean, I can reach back out to Seth, have him come, explain, answer questions anyone would have. We can invite the employees to come and ask
Yes.
questions. If you're,
Similar to what we got.
I mean, I'm not saying, you know, a vote needs to be taken now. I just don't know whether you want me to pursue, maybe having him come.
I think that's a good
Let the
idea.
staff know he's coming to speak at the next town council meeting.
Yes.
So they can come if they have questions before
Yep.
we make any changes. I just wanted to throw that out, that he did reach out to me, and if that's something you want to pursue in looking into, I'll have him come.
I think there's value in having somebody here.
Local.
In town, and local, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I will reach out to him and see if he is available to come to the September meeting to answer any of the department heads' questions or anything. So we know more what that's going to take.
Yeah, we need employee opinion and
Do we need to have it as a
relationship.
special meeting with all the employees coming?
Maybe.
It would possibly shorten the time of the
Yeah.
council meeting.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe a September
Yeah.
meeting. You don't think so?
Okay.
Russ, do you think we need a special meeting in order to have question time for that? Or do you think,
Typically, that's something we schedule within our regular curriculum. I mean, I don't know that it takes a special meeting. I mean, once we have this meeting, find out all the ins and outs of it, then we can maybe present it to the council.
okay, so you mean have employees meet with him?
Typically, that's how we do it.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't think it's gonna lengthen the amount of the meeting. I mean, he'll probably just do a short presentation.
That's fine.
I think the department heads will find more questions than the employees. I don't know how many employees we're gonna get to actually show up and ask questions.
I personally think if he just comes up and does a quick little presentation,
That should be,
And then let the employees meet with him one-on-one.
and then an employee, yeah, if we have further questions, or our people have further questions, we can say, hey, run down to his office and ask him.
so just come to the September meeting while you guys are all here.
And
Okay,
plus, we also have a month, the departments have a month to gather
Yeah,
questions
before
from the
it's-
staff. I mean,
Mhm.
they can go ahead and let the staff
Yes.
know if you're,
Yeah.
anyone has questions.
Yeah.
We can bring those questions to the next meeting. But-
okay.
Okay, so I'll put him on the agenda and I'll see if he's available.
Okay. Is that it, Jane?
That's it for me.
How about vouchers then?
Okay.
Me neither.
I know, I don't have them in time.
It's okay.
I have wastewater vouchers in the amount of $333,291.33.
Make a motion to approve the voucher for wastewater in the amount of $333,291.33.
Second.
Have a first and second from Jason and Brian. If there's no other discussion on this amount that was just presented, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Be known, it passes 5-0.
I have payroll vouchers in the amount of $93,556.92.
Make a motion to pay the payroll voucher in the amount of $93,556.52.
And 92,
Sorry, 92 cents.
2 women.
Second.
Have a first and second from Jason and Mike. Pay the payroll vouchers. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Be known, it passes 5-0.
I have general vouchers in the amount of $234,461.11.
Make a motion to approve the general vouchers in the amount of $234,461.11.
And second.
Have a first and second from Jason and Trish about the payroll. If there's no other discussion on this, all those in favor say yes. All those opposed say no. Aye.
It was 333,291 and 33 cents.
Jane need to sign this off.
I'll sign it
Go
later.
to the back card.
Motion to adjourn.
Have first and second, the motion to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for coming, everybody.